No man was ever wise by chance. Seneca. Wisdom is one of the 4 cardinal virtues, so it makes sense why the Stoics spent so much time thinking and writing about it. It is often seen as abstract, and hence it can cause confusion as to what it really is. There are many answers to the question, what is wisdom? Though I wouldn't dream of being able to answer that question to completion, I would propose my best guess as the following. Wisdom is knowing how to virtuously think and act in the world. Many things in life we fall back into. Sometimes people may experience an unexpected promotion at work, for example. However, the things that really matter hardly happen by chance. It's almost impossible to become a great back squatter if you don't aim toward having a good back squat, as an example. Now, that isn't to say that you can't become a better back squatter by doing other things. Jobs that require labor can do so, or even training in other movements, such as the deadlift. However, if you wish to fully realize your potential, you must aim towards improving your back squat and act in a way that allows that reality to come to fruition. The same can be said for wisdom. Sure, you can gain bits of wisdom here and there, which will undoubtedly help you in life. But if you're not aimed towards wisdom and acting in a way to actualize that, such as reading books, listening to podcasts, and other philosophical discussions and conversations, and extracting lessons from lived experiences, you will only get so far. But what's the difference between wisdom and education? Are they the same thing? Does education lead to wisdom? Alexander Solzhenitsyn had this quote, "It's a universal law. Intolerance is the first sign of an inadequate education. An ill-educated person behaves with arrogant impatience, whereas truly profound education breeds humility." Again, wisdom is one of the 4 cardinal virtues, but it's more than that. It's often considered the most important of the virtues because it interconnects all of the others. Regardless, it's certainly true that wisdom is vital for human flourishing. When we call something a virtue, we can also call the opposite of that a vice. The opposite of wisdom is foolishness. Therefore, we could say that foolishness is a vice. Certainly, we deem lack of wisdom not virtuous. When it comes to knowledge, things get a little complicated. Because no, wisdom and knowledge are not exactly the same things, though they are deeply related. Knowledge is amoral. It's fact. You could say it's science. It's what we aim to learn through science. Wisdom is using those facts, using that knowledge, aimed toward virtue. As a quick example here, knowledge would include exercising 3 times a week for 45 minutes will improve the quality of your life. However, wisdom would be considering improving the quality of your life a good thing, realizing the consequences of not doing so and acting upon it. it does seem to be the case that we need knowledge in order to have wisdom. Education aims to provide us with knowledge and wisdom, or at least it should, though it doesn't always accomplish that. In any case, a common remark from some of the smartest people in the world, historically and modern, is something along the lines of, the more I know, the more I realize I don't know. Now, that's the idea Solzhenitsyn is really pointing to. The wiser you are, the more you understand how little human beings currently know, or perhaps are even capable of knowing. That breeds humility. It breeds compassion. The opposite of that is intolerance and impatience. It's assuming that just because people have a different opinion to you doesn't necessarily mean that they are wrong. There is so little that you, as a humble individual, truly know after all. So how could you possibly be intolerant and impatient? Humility is approaching every interaction with other human beings with the acceptance and full understanding that you could be wrong about practically everything. Recall who was deemed by the prophet of Delphi the most wise person in Greece. Socrates. And what made Socrates the most wise person? Well, it was that he was well aware of his own ignorance. Perhaps the wisest response, the wisest perspective, is to know your own ignorance.